What's going down, beautiful people? Valet Delroy here, Ride with the Valet. Welcome back. I just wanted to stop through, share a few thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard somebody say, man, if I knew then what I know now, I'd be here or there, you know? I've heard that a lot in my life, and I was just thinking about that. This expression or this term that we use, you know what I'm saying? I caught myself saying it a few times. I was just thinking back to, hey, one quick por favor, go ahead and hit the like button for your boy. You know, I'm trying to get my likes and my subscribers up so I can do better on YouTube. Much love, people. Saying that, you know, and we all think like, oh, you know, I always hear the older men, you know, run this one back. Man, you young, you got a lot of time, you know, to do this or that. And I tell you what, if I knew then what I know now, it's always that, right? But the real question is now that you know what you know, how are you using what you know now to change what you got going on now? Why it's always got to be, if I could only go back in time, knowing then what I know now so that I could get ahead. Well, if you're going back 20 years and you've had 20 years to think about it, 20 years to put it together, or 10 years or 5 years or however long that might be, if you know now what you know now, how are you using what you know now, you know what I'm saying, to finish strong, right? Or to change the narrative, or to change the schematics of what you got going on in order to put yourself on a path or a trajectory, you know what I'm saying, to finish well. That's the real question. And it's a hard question to ask, because what you have to realize is that, or what I realize is that a lot of people, if I knew then what I know now, well, what I know now might still not be sufficient for where I am now. Meaning, I didn't know what I needed to know then, and I still don't know what I need to know now, even though I know more than I knew then. I'm just asking a question. I'm just pondering on this idea that if I knew then what I know now. And if you were sent back 20 years to this moment right now with no recollection of your future, but only your past, how do you take what you know right now and make sure that you have the future that you think you're supposed to have, that you desire to have? And if not for you, for your kids or for your loved ones or for somebody, right? Because that's always the narrative. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for myself. Okay. Okay. But with what you know right now, you know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you're going to have to say in 5, 10, 20 years, man, I wish I knew this 5 years ago. I wish I knew this 10 years ago. And I'm not talking about being dependent on somebody else's information, right? Because other people can lie. They can trick you. They can play the game for 5, 10 years. And then you would say, I wish I knew then what I knew now about somebody. But I mean, principally, in truth, in practice, in information, in the ability to make decisions, in your ability to gather the right information and use your information to put the pieces together, you know what I'm saying, to work out what you're trying to work out. Let's take credit, for instance, yeah? Man, if I knew 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was a teenager, about credit, what I know now about credit, right? My credit would be better off. But what I know now about credit is sufficient enough for me to start getting it right. You know what I'm saying? And if And if we're gonna, if it's not one thing, it's another, throw one of those in there in order to excuse the fact that every time we start to get it right, it goes wrong, or the fact that we still are not getting it right, or whatever excuse we want to come up with, then it doesn't matter if what you know now was applied to any part of your past, because you wouldn't be applying what you know, right? If you even have the right information to accomplish or get the results that you want. Not that we always control the results, but we do control the work and the effort and how we pursue and where we run and how we run and how fast we run to the best of our abilities. And I'm just saying, right? The mantra is, if it's been done, it can be done. So let's try to get it done. But those are just a few thoughts. Again, if I knew then what I know now, would I have made different decisions for real? Would I be in a better off place now for real? Would I have taken advantage of it, or maybe would it have caught up to me and taken advantage of me? We don't know. And we don't need to know, because we don't need to live in the past. It's done with. It's done with. But your future's past is right now. Okay? And your future self will be depending on what you know right now. Okay? To make the right decisions. So that they can be glad. They can be happy. They can be unashamed. They can be proud. They can run the story back. Right? And that story can carry others continually along the way. Generation to generation. This is how we done it. And this is how we're going to keep doing it. I'm Valet Delroy. This is Ride with the Valet. I hope I said something that might help somebody out there. Get out of that past. You can't live in the past. You know what I'm saying? Look ahead, head to the future. You can take what's in your mind. Okay? Turn it into something that's tangible, a life that's tangible, and that benefits you, that's valuable. You know what I'm saying? Not only for yourself, but for others. All you have to do is believe, be willing, and then get to work. Whatever that work might look like, which means, learning more, knowing more, applying more, believing more, and being more willing. I'm going to sit with that some more, you know what I'm saying? I got some more stuff to talk about, I think I'm going to just try to make a habit out of coming back and just fleshing out whatever I have to flesh out. Because I'm trying to help somebody out there. I have a lot of great conversations, and it's really hard to take the kind of great conversation you've had. I think you know what I'm talking about. You call a friend on the phone, or you're at work, or you're in public, you guys get in a great conversation. You're like, oh my gosh, we could have shut down the internet with this conversation, and then try to come back and relay that same type of back and forth in the videos. It's not the same. You don't have that back and forth going on, but what I'm going to do is just try to take, one thought at a time and just bring it and just share it. And maybe somebody will be able to engage with that thought, and that'll help them get to the next. Much love to y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Appreciate y'all. It don't matter what you would have known then. Focus on what you know now. Keep living in forward motion. You dig?